Yo, yo, yo. Here I am. It's been a little minute. I figured since the last video, what I would do is give a little break because I got a lot of videos on the YouTube footage. The YouTube footage that I've been doing. If anybody's been, just catching on, my name is Reference. My name is Reference because that's really all I could be to you. It's a lot of people speaking. We all have life in this wonderful matrix of ours, and we all have a lot going on. So we can't expect to tune in to somebody right away. So I figured I'd give time to catch up to my videos. You'll see the link on some of them. If not, I'll put it on this one, or it's on the last one too. So this one, I've really been getting to a lot of literature. Literature is important instead of depending on the digital. So today I'm gonna introduce to you 5 books that is real important in regards to the continuous teachings of the subconscious mind. Excuse me for a second, but when you dealing with certain literature, it's real important that you have something to kind of back you up, or something to excuse me for a second. Something to back you up. So that's one of the reasons why I call myself Reference. So I can give you, when you go through these, that's how I started. When I went through experiences, and then I went looking. And then when I did go looking, it was during AOL time. Don't make that face. Don't make that face. So that's what I was looking up, the information, learning about me, which me is you. So I'm just doing my part. Again, my name is Reference, and I'm gonna get straight to the information. I'm gonna show 5 books pertaining to information dealing with tapping into the subconscious mind and dealing with your own energies, names, etc. And I'm also going to be dealing with the processes that happens when you are into the darkness and you are meditating, or you are doing your magic and you wondering how these things happen. So as a scientist, which is the many aspects of you, when you look at it from this point of view, you'll see it's not no hocus pocus. It's something that's really, really happening. So I'm just showing proof and where to find it at. Because a lot of information, and we all going through a lot of different things. So I'm just another light, giving you information to your light. Nothing new. All this is just a reminder. So starting off, Be Here and Now. Be Here and Now. This is a real good book. Helped me out through tough times. It's dealing with a lot of Hindu, but all information is our information. So don't get misled reading only 1 or 2 or 3 books. It's all about the information. Don't get stuck. So dealing with this, page what? Let me see. Oh, turn it around. Yeah, this book. 76. That's what we're looking for. Because when you're dealing with such things like the subconscious mind, it's when you're dealing with the subconscious mind, and when you're trying to tap in, you're releasing humanity. I learned that a lot from Brother P. So you're releasing your humanity. So when you deal with releasing humanity, this is one of the things that helps. It says 2 things are required when you tapping in. It's the information that I'm reading. This word, that's what they call it. The falling away of worldliness, the return of innocence. That means you're starting to have enough of all that. You see that everything you're going to experience through your senses and everything you're going to know through your thinking mind is not going to be enough. And worldly things begin to appear like a dross instead of gold. Just not totally. It begins to happen, falling away. You begin to fall away from humanity. It says, my teacher said, the veil falls away like the skin of a snake. The ego thins like clouds until only transparent layer remains. The other thing that's required is pure seeking, the purity of the faith, that there is much faith in you, here in us at this moment, as in anywhere, when you begin to tap in. So this was a real good book. It's called, Reminder, Here and Now. A reminder, be here and now. It's a real good, it's not something really to read, but it's also application. The philosophies and the teachings help you understand the application. This helped me through a lot of rough times when I was incarcerated. So that's what that book. The next book I want to talk about that definitely help me, and I'm still reading it, going through it. When you're dealing with subconscious mind area and occult and metaphysics. Another book, good book, is Astral Dynamics, How to Astral Travel. As far as dealing with the mental or, potential fears, to walk through. And I want to say too, the last book I feel is real good. As far as a reference, you can just look it up, Be Here and Now. It was by capital Jai Hanuman, Hanuman Foundation. That's that book, Be Here and Now. Astral Dynamics, which we're talking about now, of course, but I'm just reiterating some stuff from the last book. It has a lot of mantras, potential transformational quotes, sometimes words to transform your consciousness, spiritual explanations, techniques with psychic energy, a lot of information from gurus, from your judgment, how to be in the moment, mental processes, when you're on your journey, and a lot of other things explained. He who knows one book knows nothing at all. It's okay to start from books before we learn how to tap in. Application over reading. At the same time, they're both equal and one and the same. But apply after you read when you feel comfortable or confident enough. Gain confidence and application. So this book right here, Astral Dynamics. Astral Dynamics. Excuse me, y'all, for 1 second. I'm gonna read some of the contents, show you what's some things in here that can help you. Here you go, Astral Dynamics. They have information on elements of projection, information on new energy waves. You got about 4 chapters of that, 7 chapters of elements of projection. The next topic is core skills. They have 3 chapters of that. The next one is projection, exit, and techniques. They have 7 chapters of that. The Akashic Connection. You can deal with a lady named Miss Blue. That talks a lot about that in her past blog talks. She is still living. Check her out, Miss Blue Raspberry. She's heavy on Instagram. Akashic Connection. 4 chapters on that. Strange Astral Phenomena. 6 chapters on that. It's a lot of different, and all this pertains to the subconscious mind. Everything connects. So I'm just giving you some books that I have, and that can pertain to you and your growth. If you can't get to it now, that's okay. That's cool. That's cool. Y'all all right? Y'all all right? Yeah, man. That's the second book. When you get into this information, It may seem overwhelming. So what you do is focus on what you gravitate towards. Focus on what pulls you. A lot of information is misleading. A lot of information is not. I do study on a particular dude who will correct certain literature, certain information, because they are more astute than I, more studied, and more swift at this moment, though they seek to pass the baton. So I feel like my references are good in this section, though I must beware. That's why we need everybody doing the work, including myself. Water. All this is still talking about the subconscious mind tapping in, not being scared of these energies, not being scared of the things that haunt you. Everything is you. But I like talking about application, but I like giving literature. The next book I want to talk about is Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia of Spirits. Ooh. A lot of people know about this. One thing about it, when you're dealing with the Kabbalah, it comes to a halt dealing with certain people. But when we're dealing with the Kalipov, that's that juice for us folks who's not afraid to dibble and dabble. Not afraid to, So this is a real good joint. So for example, to read something out of it, I guess I can. Bess. BES. Y'all might have heard Bobby Hemmett scream this out during libation. And you can also, when he screamed this out during libation, it's just, invoking, not evoking, but invoking. Or that'll happen too as a collective for the individuals in the room. They summon in this energy that lives within them. So this book actually explains the function and what it will do for you and serve you, as long as you're not afraid of yourself. No damage or destruction, nothing like that. Oh, peace and love. But all you gotta do is BS. Let's read this thing. This book heavier than me. I'm gaining weight, y'all. Ooh. So BES, dancing. Origin, Egypt or Nubia. BES, spirit of domestic happiness, lord of love. Music and dancing was amongst the most beloved popular deities of ancient Egypt. Spirit of pleasure and woman's best friend. BES protects the family, especially children and pregnant women. He guards against evil spirits and trouble. BES keeps malicious, and these energies are androgynous, female and masculine. Malicious spirits away from woman, especially at crucial moments of conception and childbirth. Ashe. BES guards the childbirth process, guarantees fertility, and may ward off venereal disease and shields against the evil eye. Y'all know I like my tunes, right? And I ain't even really controlling the mic, but this is may ward off venereal disease and shields against the evil eye. BES distinctive image was, that's a big word. UBIQUITOUS in Egypt. Carved onto bedposts and unguent pots. UNGUENT pots. Painted upon walls and tattooed onto the left thigh of the female entertainers. BES has long been perceived as a popular deity, beloved by the masses, rather than as a member of a fictional cult, but recent archaeological evidence, which indicates that BES was a favorite with royalty, and upper classes too. Some scholars believe that Bes originated in Nubia and traveled north. He was Veneraten. All right, as far as a field in Mesopotamia. Manifestation: Bes is a small man with a lion's mane. He usually wears a lion or leopard skin and sometimes a crown of tall plums. He dances with a small drum or tambourine, slashes about with knives. His dance is intended to provoke laughter, which helps chase away malicious spirits. All right. His association with drums is usually unusual and significant in a culture where drumming was associated with women. He is the only Egypt deity who is consistently depicted full face. Attributes: Bes holds a knife for defense and Sa, an instrument for or of protection. He also holds various musical instruments whose sounds are meant to terrify evil spirits. He plays the harp, lyre, Lyre, drums, and tambourine. The consort: Taweret, Taweret, which has a wonderful marriage and are happiest if Veerated together. The animal depiction, a totem, is the lion. The place: Bes is rumored to dwell in the southern gate of the Karnak temple, where he is reputedly enjoys startling unwary tourists. Funny, huh? So that's an example. Give you a quick example out of that. Another book when you want to deal with is the book of, or the dictionary of ancient deities. So, for example, in this book, you may want to invoke, just on the physical plane. Spiritual plane does something different. Lakshmi might want to invoke her or him for some cash, but a blockage has to be removed within you sometimes in order for anything to flow. It's not just about the physical plane or a ham sandwich, Sister Myra. It's about the correlations with the constellations and the cosmos, etc., etc., etc. So when you deal with this, for example, we could talk about I'm not gonna go into it because this book here, the words are a lot smaller. Yeah. But it's all these words and terms and information, they reside and live and take residence within you. They don't, your all the layers that emanate off of you, they reside at. And the location, ain't that something? We'll get to that in the near present future, huh? So let me see. Lakshmi. It talks about Lakshmi. Lakshmi is a lot talked about in the Buddhist or Hindu. Lakshmi was an earth goddess. Definitely dealing with fortune, prosperity, and beauty. Associated with Krishna. She is depicted upon Vishnu as her mate, and in each of his 10 avatars, or she, there's a her and him, avatar that join each other in this activities. A lot of it will talk about she is known of glory and prosperity. She's known a goddess of rice. She's known to people who fish for a living as the empress of the sea. Sacrifices are made to her for good catch and a safe journey home. Lakshmi is approached by the faithful who desire children and fame, fortune, health, horses, cows, and men who desire sons. She's also a favorite goddess of business people. She does not have temples, but is worshipped by in the home. Lakshmi is the symbol of Vishnu's creative energy and usually depicted seated and holding a pink blue lotus. In some depictions, she has 4 hands, 2 hands and our protective gesture. And in the other hand, she holds a mirror of a vermilion pot. Shown beautifully dressed, she's often accompanied by two dwarfs. We talk about Lakshmi. Y'all can look it up. LAKSHMI. Yeah. Pretty sure y'all can find it. It's out of print. Be creative, But I'm just showing you. Last but not least, Dr. Lean Bay book. All right, the planetary genesis, Stargate, DNA, and humans' extraterrestrial origin. This is about $100, about $100, and it's worth it because the main man been doing research for years to get this for us, and it's a lot of good information. Every single page is a reference. Lucky me. Every single page is a reference. And you decide if it's truth. But in the meantime, I think it is. I know it is. I feel it is. If there's a mistake, you should call him. He allows you to do such a thing. And if you feel like you should check him, think about it first. You know, and don't be afraid. But if you come on some negative stuff, like, don't check him. Check your credit score. So this is a real good book. Let me see. One of the beautiful things it talks about in this book. I read something about it talks about the pineal gland. You talk about Heru, and you talk about where it's located at inside your brain. And this is a reference for the information that has been done before I got here, before you got here, so to speak. And it's a beautiful thing. So this right here, this is what I'm gonna read real quick. This particular video is gonna be talking about a whole lot of literature. So I'll get started. A crystal called orange calcite is an energy amplifier and helps the body remember flawlessness. Ooh. So that it may return it during times of dis-ease. So that it may return to it during times of dis-ease. It has been used to treat kidneys, spleens, pancreas, decalcifying bone growth, and balancing calcium within the body. There are 72,000 virgin cells on each side of the cerebral part of our brain that will be activated when the pineal gland becomes fully activated or charged by the Kundalini. And this information also is by a guy named Clifton Woods Bay. The Kundalini was made up of 144,000 virgin cells. This is the 144,000 spoken of the book of Revelations. The body of that point which become pure light, just as Yeshua did before Peter, James, John on the Mount of Transfiguration. That is the point you achieve the light body, Merkaba. The Merkaba. You attain your Merkaba. So, and revert back into the physical body at will. Fasting, deep meditation, abstaining from eating all type of crazy animal products, even though it's really dope to go according to your blood type. But when you get ready, you could abstain from all animal products and go according to how you want to do, or required in order to obtain this state of being, which is called adeptship. There's a picture depicted here showing your pineal. We'll also talk about the oversoul. We're also talking about the location of where you are located inside you. Spaceships on a plane. So when you do and understand the aton or Adon-E, or Adonis, or sun disk, or Sirius blazing star. The picture depicted here by this particular book and author dealing with Dr. Lean Bay, .com, and his lovely wife. This is the actual photograph of the inside of the human brain. The cells of the brain are magnified to the equivalent side of a car. The electromagnetic galaxy, like cloud in the center, is the eye of Christ, Heru, Asaru, Buddha, Shiva, Michael, or Melchizedek. It is the inside of the brain. So when you're dealing with that, it will also deal with the fluid inside the brain, or the space called the third ventricle. The eye of Heru, or Horus, aka, is alive, active, and floats above the pineal gland and influences melanin and spirits. Excuse me. I done closed the book. Good thing I'm hip to the page. Oh, put a white shield around me. Make that page close like that. The message still gonna get taught. The message still gonna be conveyed. Let me put that white shield around me. Oh, baby, behave. Lyric. Okay, now back. The eye of Heru, or Horus, is alive. Pineal gland and influence melanin in the spirit world. The unseen is Nibiru. Neb, Heru equals or means the golden light, which is the picture taken from Nutricide by Laila O. Imhotep Africa. Laila Africa. Cop that. All right. The following Hekau is chanted with pure heart and mind, will help the golden dragon body formation. I remember the first time I heard the word Hekau. It wasn't from reading no books or nothing like that, or I didn't get it from no particular person, but rather it came from an anime called Bleach. I'm like, I learned about Hekau on Bleach, an anime. Y'all can look it up, you know. I'm not sure what episodes, but, you know, that's where I learned it from. Amazing. Babuk Benu. The soul is transformed in the fairy bird, the dove, the hawk, the phoenix. The rebirth of the spirit through the Holy Spirit, Shekinah / dove. The protection of the soul through the eagle, Walter. And the awakening of the body, spirit and soul, through the phoenix power, or resurrection, erection. The mantra is sung at the pace of a heartbeat. Cop that. Yo, that's really all for that. That's really all for that. And it's very important, very dope. I had another book for y'all. I don't know where it went at. Was it under here, or, you know? Okay, I see it. Or you know, because the next topic I want to get into, Walter, real quick, Walter. Man, I've been on this path for a long time. I've been stubborn with myself. Y'all gonna be stubborn with others. A lot is going on right now. Try not to get distracted. One foot in, one foot out. As in human stuff and spiritual stuff. But remember, do as much work as you can. Because that's what's most important. That don't mean not pay attention to your human responsibilities. Do what you can to master your emotions. Some people came here to be an a-hole. Some people came here to be the snitch. Some people, everybody's playing their role. Everybody should check out the movie Split. Everybody should really start watching movies more. Not for the sake of entertainment, but for the sake of a quick download of information. You should really check me out too. I'll be speaking that shit. Toot toot. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is also boring, I gave y'all the books, but this is about the subconscious mind literature. This is about the subconscious mind stuff. And this is coming out again. And this is probably like part 6. We're dealing with and catching up and going back to the Montauk Chia information. This is the literature that I'm coming out of when you're dealing with the processes, what happens in your brain, and the chemicals and things that go on when you thinking these thoughts, the things that happen when you're in the dark manifesting, the things that happen when you are using your juice. You want to also be a scientist to yourself. For those who have kids or don't have kids, or those who are on that path to teaching. So without further ado, dealing with the darkness meditation information, or what happens in your internal cave, or when you tap in, here we go. Each night, our waking consciousness is subdued by chemical messengers. Excuse me. Each night, it activates and inhibits the activities of the brain. Melatonin, the sleep molecule, is one of these messengers. Melatonin is produced in the pineal gland in response to the darkness of night and to the circadian rhythms of light and dark that are programmed into the hypothalamus in your brain, an endocrine gland located deep within the brain, our brain. Melatonin affects major organ systems, quieting the sympathetic nervous system and allowing daily rejuvenation of mind and body. I got some notes and terms that I have to have and explain, because if I'm reading and I don't understand, I gotta make sure I read it to you. So, for example, you're dealing with the sympathetic nerves or the axons. What they do is, or far as function, responds to dangerous or stressful situations. It speeds up your heart rate, which in return deliver blood or more blood flow in these areas and activates it. And when it does that, it's because it needs oxygen. So what it does is it brings in more oxygen when you're dealing with the sympathetic neurons in this process and things that happen. Okay, melanin affects major organ systems, quieting the sympathetic nervous system and allowing daily rejuvenation of mind and body. The primary function of sleep is to rest and restore not the body but the mind. Depriving a person of deep, dreamless sleep, delta stage, results in page of hallucinatory phenomena into the waking state. Sleep deprivation causes severe mental disturbance, attention deficits, visual complaints, hallucination, and time distortion. And after a number of days, a person may go insane. In the darkness, melatonin gradually accumulates in the brain, and we begin to experience the revelations of sleep in our own waking consciousness. Sleep and dream states manifest in our awareness, and aspects of our true nature begin to reveal themselves. Sleep consciousness is a profound state of rejuvenation and connection to our divine source. It has been said that the soul temporarily disengages during sleep to visit other dimensions and have experience. Literature which are remembered during the waking consciousness. But there's some beautiful music here. Water. It's some wonderful information, man. I'm trying to tell you, if y'all just kind of just check it out when y'all got time. Each and every soul leaves the body as it rests in sleep. The idea of some aspect of self dissociates during sleep and transits between dimensions, aka astral travel. All these things can be remembered by us practicing to be conscious or be in a waking consciousness while traveling. It's just a practice. It takes time. It's okay. It's all right. Fear is expected, but fear is now let go. So, astral travel is a common theme in the traditions of many cultures, especially ours. Sleep or others. Sleep is viewed as an opportunity for the mental being to review precious experiences and plan future actions accordingly. Hence the retrospective and precognitive function of dreams. During sleep, connection of the physical, mental, and spiritual bodies is maintained by a silver cord, similar to the thread of cord of the pineal system. Death involves the severance of this cord, whereas sleep may be viewed as merely a temporary stretching of it. The projection of consciousness out of the body during sleep may be related to our overall Kundalini experience and psychic awakening. Extended darkness retreats alter sleep cycles somewhat. Initially, people usually sleep more than since most people are busy and often sleep deprived. After 2-3 days, however, the need for sleep is diminished and more restful state of being becomes pervasive aspect of every day. We have observed that people are quiet and less active during the beginning of darkness retreats, which they talk about. So the elements of settledness in their own nature, they settle in on their own nature more quickly, dealing with retreats or moments of solitude, which could be in the closet or the darkness or hotel, anywhere you find solitude to remain in the love and splendor of darkness. And a state of alert relaxation arises when you're dealing with certain things, which is okay. Things coming up when you're diving into self. Some retreats, after a couple weeks, one may need only a few hours of sleep each night, and the sleep is often continuous when you're dealing with your consciousness. As this figure is showed here, you will be dealing with these terms as far as your internal biological clock. You'll be dealing with terms such as the retinal hypothalamic tract, which is in control of transmitting information about light levels, your light levels from your retina directly to the hypothalamus, to the supranucleus, the aligning of our internal clock. During these processes, the next processes you will be dealing with that's located inside the brain is the suprachiasmatic nucleus, also a biological clock, which sets a circadian rhythm. A small group of nerve cells in the hypothalamus that regulates such things. When you're dealing with the inside you, the superior cervical ganglion of your brainstem or our brainstem, you're dealing with the production of tears. You're dealing with not only the production of tears, but please understand the importance of tears. You're not going to find tears in a store anywhere. So you might want to start collecting them inside a vial. Jim? Tears are worth a lot of money. Ladies and men and gentlemen, whatever you want to call it. I'm an 86 baby. I ain't got time for all that gender stuff. So, this is your chart right here. Dealing with that. All right. the importance of tears, man. I'm gonna collect your tears. There's no such thing as good or bad when dealing with the polar express or polar or polarity. I'm dealing with the laws of nature, huh? All right. And this superior cervical ganglion of your brainstem, of our brainstem, deals with the skin, the eyes, something called the lacrimal gland, or LACRIMAL gland, which deals with the eye or eye protection, dealing with your tears. Area dealing with or involving the eye and the inside instead of iris research. Check it out. I'm not one that gives all information. I'm one who points. You know what I'm saying? So if you do your own, at least it's a D for reference. You ain't got to believe in it, even though people, or we will, be dependent. So it's a good reference, but leave it up to yourself to decipher, to decipher certain things. All right. So when you deal with innervation, INNERVATION, it supplies your nerves or something like your energy. All right, when you're dealing with this, CINGULATEGYRUS, cingulate gyrus. It's a part of your lymphatic system, which helps regulate emotions, pain, behavior, just above the corpus callosum. All right. So we all are working on becoming masters of our emotions. We need to be working on this daily before we get wrinkly and old. All right. So the corpus callosum, its function is to connect or be a bridge between the left and right hemispheres, or a messenger of transformation dealing with your senses, movement, cognitive function, memory, problem solving, reasoning, language processing, high function, and communication. And remember back when we did it with the circadian rhythm, it's our all of our biological clock when we begin to go beyond, like the movie Time. Everybody check that out, Time. Check that out when you get a Time with Justin Timberlake. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's good. It's a dope movie. Teach you a lot. Our biological clock that controls the body's physical, mental, and behavioral changes, dealing with our 24-hour cycle. Um, you know, when you're dealing with the circadian rhythm, it's something that you must have control over when you're dealing with self, because it could be shut down. When you're dealing with these particular things that's going on within you, this is where we at now. You must realize that some people like, well, the foods I eat, will it disrupt the foods I eat? Will it disrupt these chemicals or these processes? Well, that's what one may be trying to do. And if they're not trying to do, it's just a fear tactic or a mind attack. But say if it is happening, because you want to, this is why we getting our mind right, okay? The foods out here won't kill you, but it will fatten you up, and it will shut down these processes that I'm talking about, okay? Jim, it will shut down the processes that I'm talking about, so you won't be able to get into these worlds, all right? That's what it'll do. It'll shut down these processes, all right? Y'all all right? What's happening, fellas? What's happening, ladies? So, please pay attention and don't be too afraid of the sucker stuff. Cause that's all it is, man. They ain't gonna kill you. They ain't gonna dare do that. All right. So we're gonna get into descent into darkness. In the darkness, our mind and soul begin to wander freely in the vast realm of psychic and spiritual experience. First, sensory receptors that are controlled by the thalamus gland with the exception of the olfactory or conscious withdrawal, which will be shown in Figure 7. Thus, breathing activity substitutes for the restfulness of visual and auditory function. By keeping the adrenal hormones at their lowest levels, the inner peace remains undisturbed. In complete darkness, the visual and auditory abilities become ever more sensitive, which olfactory means dealing with your smell and your touch or the tactile or your feelings. Tactile organs become the chief senses to the supply little needed by energy to the body and mind, which you will have control over. Thus, the thalamus glands are slowly shut down. The pituitary gland, the mastery gland for bodily hormones, becomes distilled by the exchange of energy in the body/mind needed for spiritual awakening power. All right? So the hypothalamus gland is a perfect balance and alternate, or which alternates peacefully between wakefulness and sleep. The pineal gland secretes melatonin to control the subtle bodies of our bodily rhythms and is sensitized to the vibrations of the earth and scanning light. And we all know how to tap into daughter Earth, Sister Myra, and the vibrations of Earth and the scanning light, no longer being driven by the instinctive drive from adrenal power and waking consciousness of the thalamus glands, and the reticular activities or activating system. Just activates your system. And within this state, wakefulness is a dreaming state, and dreaming consciousness, which is awakening consciousness, our awakening consciousness. This is called the descent into darkness. Sometimes you got to lose yourself, Let go, baby. Let go. Let go, boy. They become the function of the spiritual stars and planet Earth, rather than a rotating power of Earth, the sun and the moon. Ellis, love. The sun and the moon. This state is the final stage of the returning process of Earth. So, next topic, when you deal with the lymphatic system, our lymphatic system, limbic system. The primary organ for the emotional activities is coordinated through the function of the amygdala, amygdala, taken from the Greek word almond, because of its fancy resemblance of almonds. In the Taoist tradition, water. This is the crowning center where both light and visual frames register, such as the image of the sun or of a snake. As the sexual power engages with the light above the brain to form sweet dew, the light in the pituitary becomes gray-white. When it radiates, the two amygdala glands are activated, allowing our energy or chi to circulate within the temporal lobes or either sides of the head. You can't see me, you can't see me. You can't see me, you can't see me. Temporal lobes of our head above the above the ears and around the temples. As the light moves forward, the third eye, the essential tool for healing diagnosis, is open. The temporal lobes govern all auditory, somatic, and motor sensory sensitivities. The breath coming from the nostrils, as well as the light shining upon the amygdala, charges these sensory activities. Burp. The adrenal glands responsible for releasing norepinephrine and epinephrine, epinephrine, become the seat for our true inner stillness. In this state, everything is transformed into harmless and loving present by drawing the unconscious light from adrenal glands, themselves charged by primordial, Bobby Hemmett reference, primordial sexual energy. The mind sees the light, and inner ear hears the cosmic vibration with both body and mind. And daughter Earth. Mysteriously, the cave of Earth, Jedi, Yoda, visiting planet, the cave of the brain, or AKA, which we talked about in the last lectures, the Crystal Palace. You already know what that is, listening to my last lectures. And the hollowness within the bones, or echo within each of us or each other, making cosmic vibrations visibly meaningful through our conscious eye. And we will learn later on techniques to begin to activate such things. Continuing to talk about the limbic system. The limbic system encircles the top of the brainstem and forms a border linking the cortical and midbrain areas of our lower centers and control automatic and internal body functions. Page 20. Hey, y'all heard that? Hey. So there's that. All right. So we're going to leave it off there with that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's real important. I'm not going to skip over like nothing too much. But I feel like this is another reference in regards to when they was talking about the dreams in the beginning. So in regards to this is the twilight of consciousness. And was talking about the chemicals. And this is a good chapter. We'll talk about a natural sleep inducer. This will help with dealing with the dreams and dealing with tapping in, all right? This is real good. I haven't finished this yet. A lot of these books I'm showing you is not just for reading. It's application. Step by step, day by day, day by day. You could start a dream at any time, whether you are awake, asleep, or whatever. Fortunately, a powerful chemical in the brain or the body has a major role to maintain the division between the two. That way, you don't dream when you are awake. Serotonin is a naturally produced substance in the body and is secreted in the spinal cord and various parts of the brain. An increase in the production of serotonin cells in the body, which induces sleep, which you can experience during dreaming. A balanced production of this brain chemical seems to inhibit the emergence of imaginary into awareness when you are awake. This happens while you are asleep. So you'll never notice it. Never notice it. All right? As the supply of serotonin becomes decreased or depleted, there can be an associated uncomfortable discharge of vivid imagery, similar to hallucinations in the waking state or while taking powerful psychedelic drugs. While watching a sleeping person, it is sometimes difficult to determine whether dreaming is occurring. To the observer, the sleeping body may twitch or grimace or mumble or something like that during the episode, or not even move at all. All right? Most rapid movement of the closed eyes or a way you know in person is in the dream, REM, which is this particular stage. You'll notice your dog or anything like that jerking his legs or chasing a cat. You know, chasing themselves while they sleeping if you got any pets. The serotonin affects the spinal cord and inhibits physical movement while asleep, aka the dreaming brain. It is immobilized. The spinal cord is immobilized, which prevents you from acting out in your dreams. But we all know we can, overcome that. But certain stages must be done. Freddy Krueger, overcome your joint. Otherwise, you will react as though the dream was a real experience, and it won't be good. For example, if you dream of running a race, this brain chemical controls you from hopping out of bed and slamming into a wall while asleep. But with the adequate production of serotonin, the body continues to sleep without much movement. Foods can affect the regulation of serotonin. Bananas, nuts, milk, and proteins can enhance the serotonin production and produce a restful sleep. A real single banana has several milligrams, enough to alter the body's chemistry. One study found that an increase in fats and carbohydrates, like eating pizza prior to or going to sleep, increases rapid eye movement. associated with dreaming. Donatello dude, Michelangelo dude, ninja, drowsiness before sleep increases serotonin production, water, in the midbrain, called a reticular system. This part of the brain has a significant role to regulate consciousness and arousal. About 10% of serotonin containing cells are found in the brain. The thalamus, hypothalamus, and pineal, or third eye, chakra, cortex is a basal ganglia, also have concentrates of serotonin. In us, concentrations of serotonin is located in the cortex and the basal spacebar, inside the let me put on my glasses. Y'all know I'm right there. The basal ganglia also have concentrates of serotonin, ganglia. All right, certain centers in the primitive part of the brain, Raphael sensor. And I was just talking about the Ninja Turtle thing. That's crazy how I connect for increase their output of serotonin. Slow-paced, synchronized electrical brain impulses are oscillated throughout the brain. This is all talking about you. All right? All right? So, without further ado, your alpha rhythm brain waves slow down to a few cycles of electric activity each second. Theta waves begin to dominate at a lower, relaxed pace. Drowsiness sets in, and the mind separates from the body. Tap in. You get it? All right? So this is all I got for y'all today. You know what I mean? So this is real important information. I know it was a lot of literature, but my name is Reference, so I got to try to do at least the basics because there's a lot more to it. But all that involves you getting into it and tapping into yourself. Peace and love. You know, don't let nobody deter you from what you're trying to do. I know we live in a capitalist society, so try to go after the passive income. All right? Oh, y'all heard that in the background. So, you know what I mean? Peace and love. See y'all another time. Tap in, tune in. Stay up, one.